This is a 3-0 time control tournament. 55 minutes of Blitz chess. Let's see what we get here. No increment. Let's play fast. Following not yet a game from the classical. Let's stop b5. Ed Solace B, thank you for the 10,000 bits. Man, look at you. Wow. Thank you very much. Jeez, thank you for that. Appreciate your support, man. That's a big donation. Okay, well, let's, oh, they're giving me the bishops. I just saw that as a, flight square, and why not ask the bishop at least one question? I wasn't going to necessarily follow up with this. Prepare rook to d1. I'm expecting this move. Not afraid of that. Just want to get some more development in. Let's put the rook here. And I'm gonna stay here. I don't want to give up this pawn. Maybe they go pawn hunting. Let's just cover it. I'm prepared to play here. Let's do it now. I want to see the queen a little bit more directly. Now I'm prepared for this. Not quite. Okay, let's go here. There's an issue there. I'm prepared to start... I'm thinking about an attack here. e4, e5. Let's get on with it. Bishop is here. Take with the pawn. And let's hit the queen. See what she does first. And let's do this now. They're going to defend h7 with knight d7 f8. Let's get this in. I want the knight to go somewhere other than f8, so I could go here, and then I want some kind of a rook lift. Queen takes A, rook takes B. My bishop can also help defend this pawn if I need it. Let's go here. Kind of discourage these pawns from moving. Let's control the knight. h4, h5. Let's go here. I might want to anchor the bishop on b7 if he ever moves. Yeah, I think that this would be a really good square for my bishop. Did not expect that. The position's now opening up, likely to my benefit. Could take the knight, queen e4. Feels like I should have something better, though. Queen g4 right now, queen h5. Takes here, king f7 seems to guard everything. I'm playing only with my queen in that position. I'm still going to take it, though. This knight getting into d5 was scaring me. So I'm going to do this. So maybe the queen, maybe the king. I feel like the king would be best. My bishop needs to play. He's stupid on e1 at this point. Queen on d5 is probably strong. I don't think I have anything here. Okay, I think the queen again would have been better here. Gonna go after my pawn. Yeah, he's important enough. Well, queen here ideas, no? Okay, this is winning me some material. Ooh. Well, isn't that a slick move? Whoa, slick. Oh my goodness, why didn't I move just then? They're threatening discoveries? My queen's unprotected. No, 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 no. That'd be a great way to lose. Oh man. They only have 5 seconds. Oh man. It's going to be a time win, but wow, that move stunned me so much. Queen there, setting up a rook discovery against my unprotected queen in the center. That's always a game that, those type of games are always ones that I want to just go back into right away and see how I could have improved. Okay. Elwood. Got the first one in there. Let's try knight e4 and c5. And let's be aggressive. Let's get the bishop here right away. And I'm going to look to start putting some very fast pressure on the dark squares. Is this a move? I'm threatening a positional. There's a positional threat here to take, queen takes, and then I take with this, open this file, and white has to take away from the center. Okay, now this is just flat out losing. Because I take here, and now there's a pin. This wins the farm. This wins a full rook. Take it. Now I'm up 2 pieces. Let's take something more. Now my knight can escape. Yeah, this fell apart fast. Let's just make sure he's rescued. They resign back to tournament. That's a very odd game. A few sharp moves thrown in there, and queen b6 to g6. You don't see that too often. Okay, still a lot of time left. There are 59 players in this one. Let's try an e4 game. We have a Caro-Kann on board. Let's try knight c3. I guess this is the 2 knights Caro-Kann against Bustaraba. Let's see if they give me the bishop pair first. Okay, light square bishop. Let's see if I could put him to use right away. Threatening mate with this or this. Let's play d4. Cancel out the knight. I'm going to go bishop here. I may want to play with my c-pawn. That's why I'm going bishop d3. I think on this square there's just too much control over d5. So I'm going to go here. It points still at what is likely the king position. Black will likely castle kingside. And I'll go I'll go with the queen. So this, I can move the queen and still defend the pawn. Where do I go, though? I guess here. Two bishops. Neither side has a lead development-wise. Pretty even. Kingside castle, or would I really want to go queenside? I could consider queenside castle. I have to find a square for my bishop, though. Where's best? I'm expecting some tempo against my queen. Expecting her position to be challenged. I could pin the knight right away. I'm going to play it more reserved, though. Let's go kingside. Now I think I want to free up my queen's role of defending d4. The knight could move with an attack against my queen, but if black is castled, you really don't have that many discovered attacks against my queen anymore. h7. Converging on h7. Well, this runs into bishop f4. Bishop d6. Let's go here first. I'm still asking for some trouble here. To be careful of the forward knight moves. They're going that way. Well, bishop feels like he should go somewhere else. I may be coming under some fire here. I'm okay if they exchange bishops. 1 minute left. We are opposite sides castling, so I have to... They might start launching some pawns at me. I think this is best to allow the bishop to stay cutting into the position like that. I have bishop h2, and then my queen could start to act as the leader in this battery. Let's go here. Preparing to get on this diagonal. At the same time, my queen is ready to be trapped. She doesn't have any squares now. Okay, I guess she's going to have to be content with g3. So likely be a time when two unprotected pieces. My opponent's playing far better than the rating. Far better. Took f7. e6 is now weak. Let's go after that right now. Let's attack the knight. And attack again. It's trapped. Knight's trapped. Back to tournament. Okay. Played well, but took a lot of time to make the moves. It's a pretty quiet position. Alrighty. Let's see what we get here. English, 3 knights so far. Alright, let's try for a Maroczy bind. And knight c2. Are they going to take my knight? Okay, clamping down on d5 now. Let's follow through with bishop e2. Bishop e3. this before this, so there's no knight g4. f3, rook c1. Okay, this is a hole. I'm going to focus on this square. One day I could control that and think about hopping into this square. I want a light square bishop exchange and then some piece right here. Let's put a rook here for starters. Let's guard f3. This structure does a good job of controlling these three minor pieces. If he can't move, he can't move, and right now he's biting on a rock. b3. Let's just go b3 without too much thought. So queen to d2, and then the knight jumping in here, knight b4, knight d4 into c6, bishop b5 into c6 once he captures like this. What's that move about? That's not working. This knight's unprotected, but that's just not working. Knight takes here, I could take like this. No. I don't believe it. Could also do this move. Or just queen to d2. Let's go queen to d2. Covers f4. They're really just starting to lash out here. Pawn takes, then they take here. I'll take the pawn. This is the only thing I see. But that can't work. Okay, now just chase me back there. Let's offer a bishop. No. Queen here. If I do this, there's bishop takes pawn. What about f4? Queen h4 is a bit annoying. I want some trades. Spending too much time. Let's stop queen h4. I don't like how I'm playing this. I'm really asking to get mated here. I'm really asking for trouble. This is really bad what I'm doing here. These knights are out of play. Okay, queen there. Okay, this is a different story now. Just want some trades. I'll take that. I want to give this check and then get my queen here to challenge this queen. Queen exchange. Offer it. And gotta watch out for knight h3. Gotta have any fancy forks. Opposite this, but I'm keying in on this square. Queen g3, simple enough. And now let's just step up. 34 seconds. Probably an unnecessary move, what I just did there. I have knight f5. Let's jump in. Get rid of this knight. Keep this file away, and let's open this up. Offer a queen exchange. Close to forced. Queen h3. I could continue pushing. Now I could key in on f6. About even on the clock now. Bishop is a good blockader in this case. Let's improve the king. If I did that right away, rook e4. Could have grabbed that pawn. Should be able to pre-move this out soon. Where's the mate? We're almost there. That's mate. Okay, I don't like how I did that. It was up a piece there. My knights on the queen side were away from the action. I had some weak squares, some dark square weaknesses on the king side. I thought instead of queen f6, bishop e5, and I'd have to find some defensive moves. There should be some defense there, but it gets a little bit scary. "35 minutes left in this one. Camel Clutchers in first. Let's try Sicilian. Guess e6. Knight there. Maybe d5? Let's go d5. See what white does. Where will he go? Some more time to get on the longest diagonal, or bishop e2. That's awkward. Where's he headed? Some time wasted. Let's fianchetto. Is he doing this to free up the f-pawn? Let's go here, have this knight here. I have to defend d5 now. Let's castle. Prepare a queenside fianchetto. Preparing b4. It's very odd moves. I feel like the rook has some potential here. If I go here, there's takes. I'll still go here. To be careful about capturing with the pawn because of this move. Okay, let's get this rook here. They can't shut it down. I have enough coverage over this, so maybe I'm prepared to take here. Though I don't want to help that knight out. I'd much rather see him move before I capture here. Okay, so even like right now. Yeah, let's do it now. Let's unleash these two. So this rook is a bit... I guess in the end the rook on c8 isn't going to have a great role. I could consider c4 or even knight to e5. I'm looking for some direct play. I have a lead in development. There's still... Okay, they didn't grab that pawn back, but I'm winning this pawn. I have a lot of stuff on it. I wanted to move this knight anyway. Just as we saw in the one puzzle position, to unmask a couple other pieces, let's take with the queen. Because now that I'm up material, I want to welcome some more piece exchanges. Which would be better, the rook or the bishop? I'm going to go with the bishop. Pins down the queen side. Bishop moves, there's a cost connected with that. Let's take and improve my knight to f5. Not here. I don't want to obstruct this rook any further. Moving forward, I could look at rook c2. That was maybe better. Rook c2, definitely. Converging on b2 and f2 now. g4 just invites me forward. Rook takes pawn. There's rook takes bishop. But I have bishop takes pawn. That knight's annoying. I think he may be kicking me away from the second. But let's go here. I'm preparing to take the pawn and take the rook. Just like in game 1 in this tournament, my queen was unprotected on e4. Okay, that's clever. Preparing to take with the knight. Okay, let's just come back all the way and reorganize here. This player has already shown to be pretty quick. They're asking for some forks now, knight on f3. I'm also controlling this flight square, so back rank issues. Can take with my knight. Let's just back up. I'm on the knight and the pawn. Where's the back rank mate? This is a super strong piece. I don't want to be too quick to just go in here. He might be best. Well, that's mate. He might be best right here, simply controlling that flight square. And he was. 21, 16, 16, less than 30 left. 76 players now in this one. Let's see what we get next. Some different early knight moves in that game. A lot of time was wasted. Let's try a b3 game. And maybe I get to push the knight away. Grab some space, open up the bishop's eyes. Will they prevent this? Yes. Let's start with knight f3, or maybe we go for a double fianchetto. Let's go knight f3. Okay, let's go with the double fianchetto. Be looking at these moves soon. Let me just get some standard stuff in. Stuff my opponent knows I'm going to do first. Castle. These more committal moves I like to hold off on. Although I don't know how committal that is. I wouldn't be going c3. So they strengthened my center just then. 2 to 1 in the center. I can push one of these two. It can open up his eyes at any moment. This knight is canceled out really well by my pawn structure alone. He's not playing. Where does he belong? One of these two most likely. Let's go here. I like the idea of playing into b5 at some point. This is a strong piece. This is a weak square in my camp. Let's start with this. Covers a pawn. Maybe supports c5 at some stage. I could have done this. Maybe that was best and more to the point. I kind of want to take advantage of that bishop being unprotected. Let's try for it. I'm threatening c5 now. The bishop doesn't have any squares, and if takes, I get the bishop. They stopped that. But now the position is opening up, and their queen, I think, will struggle some. Let's get this rook working. I have a slight lead in development. This knight is out of play. I like this structure with my bishop. It's very solid over here. On pawn takes, I could take with the knight or the rook. I think I want to take with the rook. Okay, now I'm taking material with an attack against the queen. And now I'm able to move forward and look at these intersection squares. d6. This is collapsing now. I could probably jump in here. Is there better? I could threaten mate. Let's throw that in there. Force some pawn move. Knight here defends. Okay, so they have a weakness here. And so now let's jump into this square. Or a knight here right away. No, let's jump in. I'm going to take with the pawn. Have a passed pawn. Oh. Totally missed that one. Alright, now we open the knight up. Okay, they resign. Yeah, they missed that I was on c3. c8, excuse me. Clearly. 23-20. We haven't been paired up yet. Is he in a game? He's in a game. He's doing some berserking. Still 25 minutes to go. Right behind me, 18. Okay, Pluo on board. I guess let's try G6. You never know what to expect with these ratings. Still pretty fresh for this time control. I think I'm going to try for some positional line. Trying to key in on some, employing a dark square strategy with this line. Knight here, and then I'm looking at knight c6, first this, and if d5 isn't played, I have a quick track into d4. They're stopping that. Now I'm going to look to camp out on c5, knight a6. They could force me to invest my bishop for knight. I don't want to take this voluntarily. Let's get developed. Let's keep this pin, of course. Don't take unless provoked. And that's, I think, a problem because knight here hits the bishop. And if I'm not mistaken, I could take this knight right now, or let's see if they bite. I'm going to take here. This is a pawn sack on the queen side in order to damage the king side structure. This queen is a bit overloaded, so if they really want to take here, they're going to have to damage the structure. My idea is to come out here, here, fight for the dark square weaknesses. Probably not a bad idea, at least in Blitz. I'd like to maybe get in here. I tried doing it like this, but this pawn was there in time. But there are other avenues into d4. Say they're biting. So let's take here first. Force this capture. And I don't want to take here because what I want to do, I want to play against their bishop. So if I take here, there's bishop takes, and then the bishop could take this knight out. And I wouldn't have enough material, so I think I need to run it like this. I may be damaging my structure. Okay, now I'll take here, run away. Still trying to play against this. The extra pawn they have is this guy, but he's a long way off, I think at least, from causing me any harm. So let's still carry through with this idea. I'm not quite here to get this exchange in, though, am I? But I still think I go here. Would open up my bishop's eyes if I take with the pawn, and I think I am going to take with the pawn. Yes, it's an opposite color bishop ending. I'm also on f2. My bishop is going to be a monster on this square. I'm also on the rook, and they missed that. So this is now collapsing. I'm taking f2 next. I'm hitting everything. Hitting the bishop. There's no time for any sacrifices here. Even though the queen is cutting in, this is a fine structure. Yeah, they just had a blind spot to my bishop. Oh, you know what? Maybe they were thinking my queen was going to take on f4. I don't know. Let's take this pawn and put the rook in a pin. I'm also preparing to take on a3 now. Or just go here and give some material back. Yeah, they resigned back to tournament. It's definitely interesting. I thought at least it was worth a pawn to go in for that. 24. I have fire, so this next one will be a big one, especially if... No, we're not going to get paired up. He's still berserking. Okay. Let's try this line again. Had this and won the games already in this tournament. It ended quick. That maneuver. Let's try c5. In that game, it was bishop to h4. So on f3, I'm prepared to go queen a5. Let's get this check in here. Only after c3 will I drop back with my knight. Now here, there's this, there's this. All right. None of the above. Let's plot a pawn in the center. I feel like I'm better now, because this is awkward. This was an attempt to shut things down, but now let's get a knight out. I'm not afraid of this. I could come back home. Maybe I should have been no, I could come back home. No. It feels awkward. If the position opens up and this pawn is on f3 and the knight can't go to his most natural square, it feels like it's an issue. I'm also prepared to maybe strike with e5. 3 pawns in the center, open up the bishop's eyes. Rapid development will be key. Let's do it. I could get that in. And now an additional benefit is if the capture, then okay, I got to go with the queen. Bishop takes, there would have been a fork. But, you know, now I have a 2-0 or 2-1 in the center. Let's back up, throw a punch at the pawn, and pave the way for bishop c5. I think this is a good reply. Still going to go here. Want to maintain my structure. This is a tall pawn. Let's just kill this square. Feels like the bishop's close to trapped, and he is. We saw this kind of tactic in one of the puzzles we did just before. Oh no, he isn't. I had a blind spot there. He has a square. Okay, well, maybe this is still good though. I could key in on the d3 square. Yeah, this is probably still good. But a miscalculation there, clearly. And I give this square up, but I should be winning a pawn now, no? Oh, I could jump in. Can't be captured because of a fork. If I go here, he has to go here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go here. I want to control d4. This is the only square white has to work with, so I want doubled pawns. In fact, on this capture, I'm going to insert this check first, then take with the pawn, and then have this pawn come up like that. So now I just get to win a pawn. And I think my knight is going to be the more invasive piece. So let's take the knight. Both of these squares are very good. Pressure on the bishop. I'm defending here. Let's improve my knight. Got 2 pieces covering. I'm not allowing this. Still can't castle. Yeah, that's the other thing. Now that this knight is defending the bishop, can't complete castling, or can't get the rook involved. Can't get the king save. They just dropped that, and it's a fork. I'll be up a rook soon, and a pawn. No time. Let's take the rook. And just get castled. On here I could take the knight first. I'll take here. Keep it really simple. Up a rook. Go after a pawn. I'll just save him. Now I can take here. Threatening mate. Threatening mate in a few. That's going to do it. Back to tournament. We got 28, still with fire, 15 and change remaining. 85 players in this one. How many more games? At least 2. Okay. Okay, this is the guy that's in second, so this is a huge game. Huge. Alrighty. Let's block with the knight. E3. Bishop E2, castles. And maybe black has to worry about A3 and B4, me grabbing some queenside space. Let's see. Okay. Let's get queenside development in. Stop E5. Queen C2. Yeah, queen C2 and rook. I guess we'll put both rooks here. I want to go with this rook first. Maybe that's not necessary. Let's get my queen here first. Not 100% sure why. Maybe I want to go for B4. A3, B4. Let's insert this. Be a little bit more cautious about this if the knight was on C6. Can I go with B4? Let's go bishop D3. I might want to go for some exchanges. Yeah, I don't know how purposeful A3 was. I may be threatening some stuff now. Takes and then takes here. And try to damage their structure. With the light square bishops exchanged, my knight on F3 can rely upon his post a lot easier. He can only be challenged by a knight and a pawn on E4. A black pawn getting to E4. Slight time edge. I could use a flight square. We could both use a flight square still. A way forward is B4, just putting some more pressure on C5, see if he flinches. Invites my A pawn towards the center or my E pawn. So now I should take like this first. And then I think I could do something fancy like this, and on bishop takes bishop, go here first. I think this is an important structural change, or at least one that I want to get in. Yeah, because now I could try to play against this pawn. I still have this knight under control by my knight and pawn. Flight square time. I'm going to go 2 squares. Can't take advantage of G4, and I'm threatening H5, H6. Okay, so they're sidestepping that. Maybe now we go here, stop knight F5, and do so with an attack against the queen. It's a move I did not consider. Okay, let's get him out of harm's way. I'm threatening H6. So much for that. Okay, I could defend him. Let's do it. Here invites the queen forward. Rook here, knight B5. Okay, that weakens D5. Let's move forward and throw a punch. Okay, I could take here. And why not? If rook here, I come back with an attack. And right here, I defend A3. I just won a pawn. I'm also up on time. Pawn takes, I take with the rook and challenge the queen. Pawn push, I could take, and on takes, okay, the knight would be defended. I could go back here and then get my knight into the center, but I kind of want to be assured that I have some queen exchange at this point, even if I damage my structure. Let's take here. And now we're going to offer a queen exchange. If they don't go for the queen exchange, then this pawn lives. He's unprotected. That's what they're going for. On the rook. Threatening a mate down here on h2, maybe. Rook here. Have h2 covered. Just gave me a piece and time pressure. I'm on the rook. There's no time. They resigned. Back to tournament. It's a big win. Had a time edge and caused some mistakes there. Time pressure. Less than 10 left. Less than 9, call it. 32 with fire. Not too many. I don't think anybody else joined this one. 86 is where it's going to stay, I'm guessing. So let's see what we get. A 6-point lead. Let's try and finish strong here. No more shoes is my opponent. A Dutch. Let's try this. Let's go c4. Let's castle first. I might want to go with b3 and bishop a3. No. Let's try for this. I'm going to play bishop f3. I want to force either some knight move or some pawn move. Some concession. I would love to see this because then this is a whole... let's go here. Don't know if this is best, but could try this move. I'm on e6. And can I not start chipping away at the light squares? So we could take here, bishop g4, and even insist on this move, especially after the knight moves. Right now, I want to sink into the e6 square and also cut off the communication between bishop and pawn. He may fall. Let's capture him with check and play here right away, scooping him up, although I'm not threatening that. I'm not threatening this because of rook takes bishop, but now I can win that pawn. Capturing here first, and then taking on e4. My queen is enormous. I just have to be careful of this f-file pressure. I think I want my queen out of the way, and then e5, and then this. Although my queen is pretty good right where she's at. Let's get some development in. Connect my rooks. They're going to triple up. I could always play f3. Maybe shoot for this. Yeah, maybe that's best. Let's go for it. On the triple up, I'm going to play f3. I don't want to do that. We'll go with f3. f3 it is. And I feel like I want a queen exchange. Let's try for it. And get this move in. Let's go with this. I'm covering this square, so my queen could rely upon h3. Queen here. Oh, and now my queen is off sides. Okay. I hate to have to defend like this, but Now I want my queen over here. I didn't see that idea with the queen slipping in. Yep. Now I have to be very, very careful. There's some ideas of capturing on f3. I should probably get out of this pin. I feel like I'm busted somehow. I might have to part ways with my c-pawn. Yeah. So queen takes there. Here. Queen takes a, rook takes c7. I want a rook off. I think I can do that. Come all the way back. Gotta defend my 7th. It's unfortunate, but my queen, or their queen, is really making coordination very difficult for these three guys. Where's a good home for this bishop? I just want him to exchange it off. Play bishop g5. They're really in the think tank. Great to see that. Under 30 seconds. They have a connection issue. No. Let's play here. Get out of the queen's way and secure f3 a little bit more. My bishop's unprotected. I'm expecting, yeah, that kind of a move. Let's play bishop here. Okay, I'm finding a way to organize, I think at least. I have this square covered. Let's play back here. This allows rook here, but I could sneak in this way. I didn't see I was dropping that pawn. Maybe that was better. What's that queen move about? Rook trade? Yes. Happy to see the rook exchange. Makes life a lot easier. Okay. Okay, and they resigned. Back to tournament. Little bit scary there, that's for sure. Their queen was on a rampage on the queen side. She juked me. She faked me out. I went kingside, she went queenside. Alright, this is going to be the last game. It will most likely not count for the tournament. 2 minutes and change. Should be getting one more pairing, though. Maybe not. It'll say up here if it's going to be closed. Still says to get ready. So let's see what we get. With a 3-0 tournament, maybe you don't get another pairing if it falls under 2 minutes. Only 88 players. It'll be close. Let's see. One more pairing or not. I think if it was the classical time control, they would already shut it down. We're going to see. Got a 7-point edge. Yep, one more game. Alrighty. Let's finish strong. Let's try g3. King's Indian attack. Bishop f4 with tempo at some point. Let's try it now. No. If they do this, I want knight c3, d5. Take out the knight. He's the key defender of d5. So here, here, here. Maybe this stuff. Into d5. That is a welcome sight. Now I get to pounce on the d5 square with an attack. And let's go for a knight reposition. They're allowing me to key in on these weak squares. b6 and d5 are both holes and soon to be occupied with my knights. If I go here, it feels, no, he's going to be trapped. Although, no. I'm not sure. Knight b6, pick up the light square bishop. Yeah, I'll go for that. It's the more valuable bishop. Let's take here. And I don't need my bishop on this diagonal anymore. Let's go here. I start to cut in at a lot of squares in black's position. The queen is almost paralyzed. Let's poke around over here. I just want to mix up, stir up some trouble. Let's play this. Don't allow knight d4. My knight controls this. Knight e7, I could take here. Let's improve my queen. And I could contest this file. Rook to b5 takes. I challenge the knight, have a passed pawn. Knight here takes. I end up winning the h6 pawn. I don't want my knight to be challenged. Okay, so that's getting some activity there. What's that rook up to? Well, let's go with this one. Not even allow rook a2 to hit this pawn. They're not in a position to combat the b file. This pawn controls the knight. Pretty even on time. Don't know why I hesitated there. I looked away for a moment. And now I could enter with the rook. Right here has to be good. Are they threatening knight e6 now? Let's go here. Knight e6, maybe I have rook here. And then I avoid the knight exchange. I want to kind of circle in. I want my bishop out of the way. Let's start with this. Queen here. Knight here. I want my bishop to move and then play h4. I could just win this pawn. What am I talking about? Yeah, but then they get the a pawn. Opposite color bishops. What's that move about? I'm able to take this knight. I'm winning a piece now. There's no perpetuals. No. I could defend with this and just defend my pawn, but king g2, queen takes d. There's queen takes pawn here. Okay, now I'm going to do this. Play queen f3. Just guard some stuff first. Threatening this and then bishop to e6 maybe. Expecting queen c4. Behind on time. Queen c4 needs to be played. Even on time. Oh, I could defend that pawn. Oh, that's good. If I don't drop my pawn, I got everything covered now. Even this. Bishop c6 into d5. Yeah, it's just a... Oh, now that's the queen. No time. That should do it. Yep, they resign. Back to tournament. And that's going to be it. 36, 29, 25 final standings. DJ Chess Dog just out of podium land with 23. Very long username in at 22. 88 players in all. Let's have a look at all pages. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's going to do it. 10 games in. 55-minute tournament. To the 87 of you. Good games all. Alrighty.